Hey folks, welcome to our blending lesson today. So this week we've been working in Unit 5, Week 1, where we are learning the R sound, spelled like A-R, like the word star. And we've talked a little bit about how R, when you say R, it sounds like you're just saying the letter R. So just like in some of these long vowels, when they say their name, it's almost like, if it helps you remember, that the R sound, the star card, is the long R, like E, long E, O, long O, I, long I, and A, long A. All right, so let's get started with our high frequency words. So since we've just started Unit 5, we have a whole new group of high frequency words. So of course, make sure you're focused and you're paying attention since this is brand new stuff. All right, let's get going. Large, only, round, put, great, climb, for, the number, none, through, another, full, pour, right, learn, better, sure, guess, began, early, thought, instead, color, oh, nothing, above, money, fall, build, new, toward. Wonderful, thank you. All right, first word, barn, your turn. B-R-N, barn. And B says ba. And A-R, long R if you will, R. And says let's blend. B-R-N, barn, barn. So again, with the A-R sound, it's kind of like the A is not there. The A is not saying anything. And the R just says its name. B-R-N, barn. Next word, sharp, your turn. Sh-R-P, sharp. Remember the digraph, S-H. Sh, we'll never, ever, ever say saha. It'll always be sh. A-R says R. P says pa, sh, R, p, sharp. All right, next word, dark, your turn. Duh, R, k, dark. D says duh. A-R, R, duh, R. K says ka, duh, R, k, dark. All right, next word, charge, your turn. Ch, R, j, charge, charge. So this word charge is kind of funny. So C-H, ch, like chin, never, kaha, never ever, always ch. Now, it has A-R, R, ch, R, char. And then the sound that you hear at the end, ch, R, ja, ja, that's the J sound, which is the soft G. Ch, R, ja. Remember, G-E is a way that we can spell that, ja. Let's blend. Ch, R, ja, charge, charge. All right, next word, man, your turn. M-A-N, man, man. We have a short A in there, no R, no long A. M-A and says, let's blend. Man. So we know that man is just one man, one person. And if I want to talk about more than one man, I'm going to use the word men. I'm not going to use the word mans to make it plural. If I want to talk about more than one man, it becomes the word men. So you still hear and but the vowel in the middle changes. That's a super important thing to remember. E says eh, and says men, men. Next word, foot. Your turn. Ta, foot, foot. This word foot uses the book card, the And then just like on the book card, that O, they work together and they say not ooh or sorry. And T says ta, foot. And of course, that's just like one foot. And you know that if you want to talk about more than one foot, like both of your foots, it wouldn't be the word foots, it would be the word feet, feet. F says, and when you say feet, you hear long E. And we've already learned that EE is a way that we can spell long E. So when you see this in a book, you can say EE and say, oh, that's E. And I'm willing to bet that you probably might not have to sound this word out, because when you see it in a book, you'll probably just know it. It'll make sense to you because of the picture or because you've seen it before. Eat, feet, feet. All right, next word, child. Your turn. Cha, old, child, child. And of course, that's like one child. And remember, CH we know says cha, like chin. And when we say the word child, we hear long I, cha, I. We know that long I can be spelled I by itself. And LD, that's one of those ending blends where L says ol, D says da, ol, da, you put them together, old, sorry, cha, I, old, child. So this is one. If we want to talk about more than one, this word changes almost completely. The word becomes children, like there are 4 children in my family. So you still hear the cha and the old, but instead of children, you don't hear long I, you hear a short I. So CH, cha, it's still an I, but the I changes from long I, like cha, I, old, into a short I, cha, I. LD, olda, old, just like in child. Cha, old, chilled, okay? And then has R-E-N at the end. And when there's R-E-N at the end of this word, then you know that that I is I, because you know that this means more than one child. Now, of course, R-E-N, you can sound it out letter by letter. Cha, older, children. Like I said, you can do that. But it, like I've said before, you kind of get lost in the word by the time you get to the end. So try to break it up into chunks that you know. And like, oh yeah, cha, I, old, child. Oh, I think I know that word. I've seen it before. Child, child. Okay, well, I see more than one kid in the story. So it's probably the word children. Children. All right, next word. Barnyard. Your turn. R ya R D. Barnyard. Long word over here. B says ba. AR, star card, R. And see, we had this word, barn. Barn. And then the next part of the word was yard, barn, yard. Y says ya. And there's AR again, star, ya, R. D says da. You can blend the whole thing. R, ya, R, da. Barnyard. So since this is a compound word, if you see it in a book, you might already realize that as you're trying to sound it out. Like, you might start to sound it out from the beginning. Oh, barn. Oh, barn, yeah. Yard, barnyard. That might kind of come together in your head. And so we know that a compound word is two different words with two different meanings that when they come together, they make a new word. So barn is a word. It's a true word. It's a building on a farm, okay? And yard, it's kind of like a nice open space. Like you may have a yard in your backyard, another compound word, or your front yard, which is two words. So yard is like a big open space. So the barn yard is kind of like a big open space, the yard that may have a barn on it. So you would typically find a barnyard on a farm, and that's kind of where the animals would hang out. All right, so let's read our blending word so far. Barn, sharp, dark, charge. Your turn. Excellent. Man, men, foot, feet. Your turn. Excellent. Child, children, barnyard. Your turn. Wonderful. All right, let's do a sentence. All right. M says capital M because it's the beginning of a sentence. It could be a name. AR, R, R. K says ka, R, mark. So yeah, it is a name. In this sentence is a name. It's a name. Mark. P says pa. U says pa, T says ta, pa, put. So we know from the book card that you can also say and two O's, They both say the same sound. It just depends on the word. You have to know when you can switch them. And also, put is one of our new high frequency words. So that might actually, when you start to become a master at these words, you may not even have to sound it out. You don't have to worry about what that U says because you already know that P-U-T is the word put. Thank you. L says ul. A-R, R, ul, R. G-E, soft G, ja, ul, R, ja, large. Oh, look, that is also a new high frequency word. So now just more high frequency words that we know we can sound out because we're learning these new sounds. Like A-R, we know that says R now, so we can put those all together. large. J, A-R, R. So Mark put large jar. That doesn't sound right because the word jar is just one jar. So if we were going to talk about just one jar, we would have to put an A here, the word A. Mark put a large jar. Where did he put it, I wonder? So it has to be the word jars. J-A-R-S. Jars. So that makes the word plural. That makes it make sense in the sentence because he has more than one jar that he's putting in his cart. In this is a high frequency word. His, Mark put large jars in his, almost like a tongue twister. C says ka. A-R, R, ka, R. Mark put large jars in his. T says ta, ka, R, t, cart. Mark put large jars in his cart. High frequency word at. High frequency word the. M says A-R, R, R. K says ka, ark, mark. And that's also the same word that's here. But since it's a lowercase, it's not a name because we don't put capitals in the middle of sentences unless it's a name. Ark. Short E says ark, and T says ta, ark, et, market. Market. All right, let's read our sentence. Mark put large jars in his cart at the market. Your turn. Excellent. And we have kind of a long sentence here. All right. So of course, punctuation is what we need. So Mark put large jars in his cart at the market. That sentence would probably just have a period. It's just telling what Mark has done. So Mark is shopping, and that's what he shopped for. He shopped. Maybe he shopped for some mayonnaise or some pickles or something. Things that were in large jars. All right, nouns and verbs. So Mark, we said at the beginning of the sentence, it's a name. So we know right off the bat, it's a noun. Mark put large jars. Jars is a noun. It's a thing. Mark put large jars in his cart. That is also a thing. Something that you could touch. A lot of nouns in this sentence. Mark put large jars in his cart at the market. That's a place that he went to go shopping. All right, so we know that a verb is something that the noun does. So look at our nouns. Mark, jars, cart, market. So is the market doing anything? Is there an action that the market is doing? Nope. What about the cart? Is there an action that the cart is doing? Nope. What about the jars? Are the jars doing anything? Nope. Mark, what is Mark doing? Mark is putting something. So when Mark takes that jar and he puts it in his cart, that is an action that he is doing. Mark put, I do have an adjective. So remember, adjective, we don't always use them, but an adjective is a describing word. An adjective describes one of the nouns. So let's start at the beginning. Is anything in this sentence describing Mark? Nope. Is anything in this sentence describing the word jars? Yep. So what word is describing the word jars? Large. So an adjective, it just gives more information about a noun. So we could take that word large out, and then the sentence would just be, Mark put jars in his cart at the market. And that would still be a correct sentence. It would have a noun, it would have a verb. The adjective though, just when you're reading it in a book, it just gives you a better picture of what is happening, because not all books have pictures. So it's really important as a writer to be able to give the reader a really good picture in their mind of what's happening in a story. So the word large, adjectives help give more information, a better picture in your mind of what's happening in a story. All right, folks, thank you so much. We'll see you later.